people, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. There is loads to get through today on this Friday afternoon. Personally, one of my favourite Eddie Howe press conferences ever. Some great lines from that we're going to talk through in this video, and then of course look towards Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Toon tomorrow for a Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff. Before we do all that, thank you to Workwear Express for sponsoring this video. Workwear Express, I'm buzzing to be working with them. They are a local company in the northeast, and they are the #1 rated UK company for PPE and clothing wear. All your workwear needs, get yourselves to workwearexpress.com. The link will be in the description of this video, and they do have a big sale on at the minute, as you would have seen scrolling along your screen there. So, what were the juicy bits, the best bits from Eddie Howe's press conference? Well, we'll dive straight into the title of this video, and obviously last night's video was about Julian Nagelsmann, linked to coming to Newcastle United. Make sure you just check out that video if you haven't already. Eddie Howe responded to those rumours today, which was nice to see that someone actually asked him some questions like this, because a lot of times the press conferences, I think, the journalists, and they get loads of pelters for it as well, they do go too easy. They do ask the boring stuff. Oh, what do you think of Wolves? What do you think of Gary O'Neill's job that he's doing? Well, you know Eddie Howe's just going to give the answer of, great, yeah, card game. No one gives a shit about that. Let's just start asking real questions. What's happening in the news? Nagelsmann's been linked. Eddie Howe, are you feeling the pressure? What do you think about it? And you know, he responded to it, and fair play to him. I really liked his response. I thought it was a solid response from Eddie Howe, saying that his job is basically to make sure he does a good enough one to put off any big name managers being looked at by Newcastle United. You will see on your screen now exactly what he said in full, but I think that's a really strong response from Eddie Howe and a really positive one at that. You know, he's basically saying, I'm in this chair and I'm staying here and I'm going to be doing my best to make sure that's the case. You know, I don't listen to these rumours, I don't care. And he didn't give it any real encouragement or reflection. You know, he just basically said, I'm the man, I've got to do my job, and what will be will be. And I like that from Eddie Howe. Do you know what I mean? He had confidence in himself, he's got confidence in his own ability, that the owners aren't going to look elsewhere, and that he is the man for the job. So I like that from Eddie Howe. Nice for him to see come out fighting with that, and we're going to have to come out fighting tomorrow as well, and we'll get into that in the preview. But there's some great lines from Eddie's presser today. I really like the stuff about him playing the piano. Just a proper random question. He was asked about, are you still playing the piano? And he knew he was giving this answer like, he does still have a little tinkle on it now and again, but he's not the best, and his sons are actually better than him on it. But just the thought of Eddie Howe right now, probably winding down after training today, just sitting there in his living room, having a little play on the piano, Rocket Man settings. There's something just really funny about that, and the whole room was lighting up after he was talking about that, and he was saying, I'll do a big cup final song if we do manage to win the FA Cup this year. He says he'll do anything. When asked would he sing along to one of his favourite songs as well, which is good crack. You know, he says he's terrible at the karaoke. Hopefully one day we'll get to hear that big karaoke session at St James's with Eddie Howe. Lifting a cup would be absolutely class. And speaking of the cup, he was asked as well about the Man City draw. Yep, we're going to go on to it again just quickly. And Eddie Howe said he couldn't believe it. He was driving at the time and he nearly swerved off the road. Good job he didn't, to be fair. We don't want anything like that happening. But that's obviously him taking the mick at how bad the draw was. You know, he was in that much disbelief. In the sense that we were in disbelief on our live show as well, but at the same time you weren't, because you fully expect to get the worst draw after the way our cup runs have went this season, the draws that we've got. And again, it was very commendable about what Eddie Howe said afterwards, where he was saying, listen, I don't want to be in that frame of mind where it's, oh, pity us, oh, the world's against us, oh, bad luck, oh, it's fixed. You know, he was saying the draw's random and is what it is this year. We haven't had the luck, but we're going to have to crack on. He said, we don't want to play Man City again. Nobody does. Who the hell wants to play Man City 4 times in a season? Nobody wants to play them twice in the league, but we're doing 4 in both cups. We were doing them in the Champions League, probably, if I'd have stayed in that. No, 5 times. But Eddie Howe was saying, we don't want to play them, but we're looking forward to the game now that we are. So, you know, we're going to go there to win. We are confident we can get the job done. And if you're going to win the cup, you're probably going to have to play Man City at some point. So, again, I thought Eddie Howe was in great spirits today, good fighting talk. I liked it. And he did obviously give us a fitness update as well. Good news on Sven Botman is that he is fit and available for tomorrow. Eddie Howe says we'll most likely will see Sven at St James's after he was rested during the week at Ewood Park. Joe Willock's coming along nicely, but he will have a while to go to recover. Same can kind of be said for Elliot Anderson, maybe a little bit further behind than Willock, but Eddie said he did bring on Anderson just for that penalty shootout really, and the young Geordie did his job. Matt Target is also back in training, but he's a little while further off as well with that hamstring injury. But the good news is there's no fresh injury concerns. There's no Isaac problems, nothing like that is what Eddie Howe's saying anyways. So we're getting back to our best. Just on a side note there, it was interesting last night what came out in a few press reports on Twitter was that Callum Wilson is unhappy at Newcastle and he wanted to move in January. He wanted that move to Atletico Madrid, according to a few journalists. And other people have said, well, yeah, he's probably going to get sold in the summer because of his age and everything now as well. But now, obviously, there's pectoral injuries out for most of the season. And even in that piece by Joel Bland, I think it was, he was saying Wilson's in no rush to come back. He's not going to try and rush to come back. He doesn't care. He's unhappy. He's angry at the minute. And he wanted that move to Spain. That's big news. And if it's true, it's bad news for Newcastle. It's not very professional from Callum Wilson. If Newcastle blocked that move, he has to get on with it. He's got a contract at the club. But to be fair, back in January, I said I would have sold him. I would have sold him. If Madrid had came in and Atletico Madrid with a decent fee, I would have sold him straight away. Obviously, the issue was the time, wasn't it? We didn't have much time to replace him, being the issue there in January. But we've seen why we should have got rid of him anyways, because it's a waste of time. He's had that injury now and he's out for the rest of the season. Let me know what you think about Wilson's comments down below. Now then, let's have a look towards this weekend's game. Wolves against the Magpies at St James's Park, and we need to sort out this home form right now. Draw Castle United are back in our Bournemouth, Luton. We can't do it again against Wolves. Wolves have overtaken us in the league after their win in their last round of games and we got humiliated at Arsenal. We're now 10th, but it is very congested up there. So there's a chance for Newcastle to get back up to 7th, get back in them European places, depending on other results. Now, Wolves are a very good side. I'm a little bit nervous for this game, but what's made us feel better is that arguably their best player, Cunha, he's out. He's definitely ruled out him until mid-end of March. And then there's doubts over Wang Hee-chan and was it Lamina, who went off injured in their win against Brighton the other night, because Wolves, as well as us, are in the quarterfinals. They got a draw against Coventry. They got the draw that everyone wanted. Tasty one for them, that little derby down there for them. But Wolves are honestly a very good side. I think Gary O'Neill has done an amazing job there. I think he's a very, very good manager. Unlucky to lose his job at Bournemouth. And I really rate him. I think he's doing great stuff down there at Wolves. They're selling top players over and over again, like that Nunez who went to City. But they're still doing a good job. And for them to be where they are at the minute, and in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, you've got to commend them. And they play some good football. They really do. And they're a dangerous side that can and will cause us problems. And our defence has obviously been shaky at the minute. Not conceding 4 against Luton at home, 2 against Bournemouth at home. So they could hit one the break, but like I said, a huge positive for us is their players missing that I just mentioned before. Some big players for them are going to be missing this game potentially. So that's going to be a blow for them. It's going to be a positive for us. But we need to get back to our style. We need to get back to our identity, and we need to be stricter at the back, smarter at the back, more solid at the back, and going forward, Isaac probably due a goal depending on his fitness. Can Willock crack on again, and can he start again and go forward? So we've got more than enough to be beating Wolves, and I think it is a really huge game for Eddie Howe and Newcastle, because you want to get out of this slump of draws at St James's. We haven't won at St James's since mid-December. We haven't won this year, and it's March. We haven't won in 2024 at St James's in the league, I believe. And Wolves are on a good run. I think they're unbeaten in 4 or 6 games away. So, and they've had some big wins on the road, like against Spurs and that. So, I'm telling you, it's not going to be an easy game at all. But with our team news and their team news added up, it's a chance for Newcastle to get back to winning ways. It really is. And I think this one, I'm going to go for... I'm torn between a 1-0 or a 2-1. I'm going to go 1-0. 1-0 Newcastle. I don't think it'll be a great game. If we can limit Wolves on the counter, then it's going to be a good game for our defence, I think. But if we don't and we're all over the shop, then it could be 3-3 or something mad like that. It really could. But we must get 3 points this weekend, get back up to those European spots. I want to know your score predictions in the comments below, people. And remember, as always, you can head over to our Instagram on match day at the Magpie channel. Get your score predictions on our post in there in collaboration with MeatStack, where you guess the first goal scorer and the correct score, and you can win loads of free scran and free beer at MeatStack. Great place there on the big market. Cheers for watching, people. Have a great weekend. Stay tuned. We'll be back tomorrow with the match reaction at full time. See you later.